This video is brought to you by my latest book, How to Play Melodic Rock Lead Guitar, a comprehensive guide to doing exactly that, playing melodic rock lead guitar. This is not just some collection of scale patterns and tabs, although you do get plenty of those, but you also get an entire chapter on how to come up with your own licks, as well as video content, tutorials and demonstrations, loads of jam tracks, and all the way through I'm encouraging you to expand your fretboard knowledge and showing you how you can think in a more musical and melodic way. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That little piece of music there was me doing, well, the title of the video says it all. What little I know about playing reggae. I was basically faking it there, bluffing my way through, and I've had to do that on many an occasion, playing in covers bands over the years, UB40 covers, and anyone remember Aswad, a couple of hits that they had? I'm sure I've played in one covers band or another. And when I first started gigging back when I was still at school, the big musical craze at the time was that sort of two-tone record label, you know, bands like the Specials and the Selector and the Beat, Bad Manners even, and I know that's more kind of ska than reggae, but it is a related style. Reggae isn't a style of music that I feel like I'm across 100%, but I do, as I say, know enough to kind of fake it, and that is what I'm going to share with you today. Here's some information.
Here is the explanation.
Okay then, what little I know about playing reggae, enough to busk it, to get by, to bluff me way through, basically, to fake it. But what I'm going to tell you about today is just basically 4 or 5 little bullet points that I've got written on a pad here that I'm going to go through with you. And the first one for me is that I always tend to think of reggae as having kind of a shuffle beat. So this track that you heard earlier was at 120 beats per minute. So I'm just going to go down to 90 beats per minute just so we can hear it in a bit more detail. A shuffle or swing beat is where instead of dividing each beat of the bar into 2 parts, the first half and the second half, we're dividing each beat by 3, so we're getting kind of triplets, but we're only playing on the first and last group of 3 on each beat. So essentially, instead of being half a beat and then another half of the beat, you're getting 2/3 of the beat, then 1/3 of the beat. And the difference goes like this. I'm just going to demonstrate this on a A minor chord. First of all, this is just playing what we call straight eighths, where it's half a beat and half a beat. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, now if we turn that into a shuffle kind of beat, it's going to sound more like this. you can hear the difference. I think there's a lesson all of the previous lessons in this series are all linked in the description. So if you want to know more about playing shuffle or swing rhythms, then go and check out that lesson. So that's the first thing. The other thing is leaving space. Okay. And another thing that's often said about reggae is that unlike rock music, in reggae you accent beats 1 and 3 rather than 2 and 4. But unless I'm missing something obvious, I don't perceive that when I'm listening to reggae music. I still hear a strong snare on beats 2 and 4, and that's where I always tend to put the guitar part. So I'm going to do that here with the metronome and just maybe put in a little upstroke on the end of beat 2, but still with that kind of reggae shuffle feel. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. So that kind of already starts, kind of giving you that sort of reggae-ish vibe. The other thing, and this isn't really relevant to what I was doing on the guitar, but it is relevant to the sound of the music overall, is that you don't want, someone like Stanley Clarke or Jaco Pastorius or Mark King playing your bass line for you. It needs to be minimalist. It needs to be, kind of very laid back, to leave that space, to leave that air in the sound. So let's go back up to 120, which is the target speed for the track, and I'm just going to fake the bass line on guitar here, so you can get an idea. I'm mainly landing on beat 1, okay, 1 and as well. So I think the bass line I played was something like this. Again, I'm just going to fake it on guitar. 2. And you could double that on the guitar and sound quite effective. So you put that sort of minimal bass line in there with a shuffle rhythm that's been, that's being driven along by the drums. I've got, like, on my drum plugin, I just went to the shuffle presets and used some of those to program the drums, and it came out okay. The other thing which we often get in reggae, and again, this can be done on the drums or on anything really, we get a lot of quarter note triplets, just because they sort of trip over the beat and work really nicely. Again, I've done lessons on triplets in the past, but I'm going to try and do it now. So this isn't the easiest thing to do to a metronome, so I might screw this up. I find this easier with a drum part, but anyway, we'll give it a go. Quarter note triplets. It's that sort of, if you imagine, best example I can think of is, on I Fought the Law by either the Crickets, or if you're from my generation, the Clash. That line where it's robbing people with a 6-gun and you get that da 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 kind of drum part. Those are quarter note triplets. You're basically you've got a bar with 4 beats in it, and you're dividing it into 6 pieces. So it sort of it syncopates nicely across the beat. And I was doing that, I'll tell you how I was doing that in a moment, but I was playing something that went like this with these chords. Like that, just, trying to... Now, on the track, I wasn't actually playing that. If you haven't seen it, then I recommend you go and watch Rick Beato's interview with Stuart Copeland, where he described how he, on the drums, used to use, I think it was like some kind of tape echo, probably, what's that one, the Boss kind of Space Echo, that's the one. To get that, so you hit it once and the kind of delay is set to the actual repeat times to give you that effect. I was doing that with just a plug-in in Guitar Rig. I don't use any of the guitar amp models in Guitar Rig because I'm quite happy with the Blue Guitar Amp 1, thank you very much. But I was using the Delay Man plug-in in Guitar Rig, and it's set to 333 milliseconds. How do you know how to set that time? Well, the tempo of the piece of music is 120 beats per minute. So you can figure out, we know there's 60 seconds in a minute, so divide 60 seconds by 120 beats, and you find that each beat is 0.5 of a second. Then, well, how long is a bar? Well, there's 4 beats in the bar, so you multiply 0.5 of a second by 4. So that gives you each bar lasting 2 seconds. And we want, as I said, those 6 kind of hits in the bar. So you take 2 seconds and divide by 6, and as you see here, that comes out at 333 milliseconds. That's easy to do when you're playing with programmed drums. If you're playing with a real drummer, then have some sort of parameter control assigned to your delay. If you're using a delay in a multi-effects unit, then just have it set to an expression pedal where you can, kind of tune it, or, in terms of the timing to fit in with what your drummer's playing, because how do we know there's a drummer at the door? The knocking gets faster. Anyway, so that's kind of the effects I was using. Apart from on the lead part, I again, another Guitar Rig plugin. I used this stoned phaser. Now it says dotted eighths there, and we're going to be taking a look at dotted eighth rhythms probably next week. But I just kind of messed around with that rate control until I got that the sound that I always think of as like the Peter Tosh, guitar tone with a little bit of phase, a little bit of that kind of thing on. Not something I normally use, but in this instance, it was, it was worthy of it, I thought. And there you go. Shuffle. Minimal bass line. Stabby chords on beats 2 and 4. And use some sort of delay or play some quarter note triplets. And that is everything I know about playing reggae. Now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for that piece of music at the top of the video in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've just seen there, and a backing track to play along with yourself. That is, as usual, up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. As I'm sure you know, if you're a seasoned viewer, it's $3 a month, roughly £3, and you get access to all of these tabs and jam tracks and tuition content that go along with these YouTube videos. Usually put stuff up about 3 times a week, and there's also a higher tier of membership, $6 a month, where you get all of that stuff, plus you get a weekly blog post, plus you get a weekly reaction video, and you get a twice monthly Zoom hangout with me and the other tier 2 chaps, building up a nice community on there. It'd be great if you could come and join us. And of course, a massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are down in the description. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you found it entertaining. Hope you found it useful. Hope you might have even found it inspiring and informative. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. And of course, don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and we have a chat, basically. It is, I think, a great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.